Okay, if you've got a pet, you know that keeping them healthy is, well, it's everything, right? But here's the thing. What if I told you that the old rule book for vet visits has been, like, completely torn up? Today, we're going to dive into how veterinary care is changing and what that means for giving our pets the absolute best life.
So this is the big one, isn't it? How often does your pet really need to see the vet? The answer used to be so simple. Oh, just once a year for their shots. But that's not the case anymore. That old one-size-fits-all model, it's out. Now it's all about a smarter, more personalized approach that's actually built around your pet's specific age, lifestyle, and what they need as an individual.
Everything really kicks off in that crazy first year. And look, I know it's all about adorable puppy or kitten chaos, but it's also so much more than that. This is when we are literally laying the biological foundation for their entire life. And all those vet visits, they're not just checkups, they're about building this fortress of immunity that's going to protect them for years and years.
Okay, so for puppies and kittens, think of it like a really important, carefully timed mission. They're going to need a whole series of visits, usually every 3 to 4 weeks until they hit at least 4 months old. And there's a very specific reason for the schedule. It's all designed to build up their own protection right as that initial immunity they got from their mom starts to wear off.
So this brings us to a super interesting idea that's really at the heart of puppy and kitten vaccines. It's called maternally derived antibodies, or MDA for short. You can just think of it as this amazing temporary shield of immunity. It's like a parting gift passed down from mom to her babies. It's incredibly powerful, but, and this is the key, it doesn't last forever.
And this is why it's so tricky. As that shield from mom gets weaker and weaker, this little window of susceptibility opens up. It's a period where the baby is vulnerable. So the whole point of that vaccine series we talked about? It's to get their own immune system to kick in and start building its own shield, perfectly timed to close that gap right when they need it most.
So here's the really crucial takeaway from all this. The official global veterinary guidelines now say that the final shot in that first series has to be given at 16 weeks of age or even a little older. Why? Because that's when their immune system is finally mature enough to build a really strong, lasting response. After that, they get a booster around their first birthday, and boom, that locks in their protection. That's the foundation for their whole life.
All right, so once you get through that critical first year and your pet is all grown up, the whole game changes. The focus shifts dramatically. We're not building immunity from scratch anymore. Now it's all about strategically maintaining their wellness. And honestly, this is where we've seen the biggest revolution in how we care for our pets.
You can see that evolution right here. On the left, you've got the old way. You go in once a year, they get their shots for everything, no questions asked. Simple, but not very smart. But look at the modern way on the right. It's so much more thoughtful. The annual health exam is now the main event. And vaccines? Well, those have become a careful conversation you have with your vet based on your pet's actual lifestyle and risks.
And this right here, this is a total game changer for adult pets. For those really important core vaccines, we now know that the immunity lasts way longer than we used to think. All the major vet associations are saying that for a healthy adult dog or cat, you should be boosting those core vaccines no more often than every 3 years. And get this, some studies show that immunity can last for 7 years, or maybe even their entire life.
So that brings us to a really important distinction that honestly every pet owner needs to understand. Getting a handle on the difference between core and non-core vaccines is really the key. It's what lets you make smart, confident decisions for your pet and helps you avoid giving them anything they just don't need.
And look, this isn't just some new trend or someone's opinion. This is a science-backed global standard. The World Small Animal Veterinary Association, or WSAVA, gives really clear guidance on this. The mission is basically 2 parts. First, protect every single animal with the core vaccines against the big, scary, universal diseases. And second, use the non-core vaccines carefully, only when they're truly necessary. So let's break this down. Core vaccines, these are the non-negotiables. They protect against really severe, life-threatening diseases that are pretty much everywhere. Every single dog and cat needs these, period. Now, the non-core vaccines, think of these as the a la carte menu. It all depends on your pet's life. Does your dog go to doggy daycare? Is your cat an outdoor adventurer? Do you live somewhere with a lot of ticks? The answers to those questions tell you if any of these are a good idea.
So for dogs, the core vaccines protect against some truly nasty stuff. We're talking canine distemper virus, canine adenovirus, and the one a lot of people have heard of, canine parvovirus, which is just devastating for puppies. And of course, rabies is on the list wherever it's a risk or required by law.
And for our cats, the core list is just as important.
It covers feline parvovirus, which is also known as panleukopenia and can be really deadly. Then you have feline caliciva virus and feline herpes virus, which are two of the main causes of severe upper respiratory infections. And just like with dogs, rabies is considered core pretty much anywhere it's a concern.
So when it comes to those non-core vaccines, things like kennel cough or Lyme disease or feline leukemia, the bottom line is this. It's a conversation. It's a team effort between you and your vet. You know your pet's life inside and out, and your vet has the medical expertise. You put those two things together, and you come up with a perfect, customized plan.
Okay, now let's talk about when our furry friends start getting a little gray around the muzzle. As they enter their golden years, the healthcare focus shifts yet again. Now it's all about being proactive, about monitoring them closely to keep them happy, comfortable, and feeling good for as long as we possibly can.
So when is a pet officially a senior? Anyway, it definitely varies, especially with big dogs versus small dogs, but a pretty good rule of thumb is around 7 or 8 years old. This is just the time of life when we tend to see more of those age-related issues pop up, like arthritis, dental problems, or just subtle changes in how their organs are working.
And because things can change a lot faster in senior pets, a lot of vets now recommend switching to a checkup every 6 months. It might sound like a lot, but it gives us a chance to catch things early. You know, issues with their kidneys or their thyroid or their heart. Finding those problems sooner can make a massive difference in their quality of life.
Now, this is a really cool piece of modern vet medicine that gives you, the owner, more options. It's an antibody test, or a titer test. Instead of just automatically giving another booster shot, this is a simple blood test that can actually check if your pet still has enough immunity from their last vaccine. It's an amazing tool for making a really informed decision, especially for older pets.
Of course, taking care of a pet isn't just about what happens at those scheduled appointments, right? A huge part of it is knowing when you need to pick up the phone and call the vet right away and being smart about things that might change their health risks.
Okay, this first one might seem obvious, but it's so important. If your pet is showing any sign of being sick or hurt, just call. Don't wait and see. But you also need to think ahead. Are you planning a trip? You might need a health certificate. Are you moving? A new area could have totally different risks, like new parasites or diseases you need to get ahead of. Being proactive is always the way to go.
So when you pull it all together, what you see is that modern vet care is really a partnership. It's not about following a rigid set of rules anymore. The whole goal is to build a health plan that is as unique as your animal. By working with your vet, by staying informed, you can give them that incredible gift of a long, healthy, and really happy life. So the question to leave you with is your pet's health plan really, truly built for them?